hello, we're late. Last minute, all of a sudden, we had to cut down a couple of trees in our front yard, and this is the first Sunday we've had with the sun shining, and with everything closed, this is the light we're getting. So
I'm kind of washed out here, so.
So short of, oh yeah, just hold your hand there. That's fine.
That'll
there
work,
you go.
right?
And, and I'll do the same thing.
So we need to make some adjustments to
I don't know what
stuff.
that's going to be. Hi, Tammy. I don't know what that's going to be. Because we can't, I don't know.
I don't know.
There's nothing we can do about it, actually.
I need
So.
a tissue. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to start out with, actually, it's a prayer of St. Francis, which is very, 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 very cool. And, of course, there's a lot of different renditions of these. But, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, may we sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is giving that we receive, and it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Very nice.
Very nice.
All right. Divine Fellowship. Haha. 2021 version. Pastor Janice, Pastor Phil. I don't know what we're going to do about that light.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Can we shift that way?
It's not going to help at this point. Yeah, you want to mess with the screen and
No,
everything
I
now?
don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I think so. T-shirts and sweatshirts. Actually, this one is a little, you know the baby rompers thing, little thing? that says
Onesies. They're called onesies.
Yeah. How about laptop model? Computers, laptop. Okay. Anyway,
I don't get it.
never mind.
I don't get it.
Laptop. It sits on her lap.
Oh. I thought, like model. Vanna White or something. I didn't.
No, this is as in computers. Anyone who thinks the customer is always right never worked in tech support.
Yep.
I found your problem. You need a user upgrade.
Yeah, there you go.
Most computer problems are caused by a loose nut between the chair and the keyboard.
That's true.
Yep.
It takes two of us to do anything on the computer sometimes.
There are 10 types of people in this world. Those who understand binary and those who don't. In other words, 1, 0, not 10. So, haha. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. A. Lincoln. Have you tried turning off and on again? Ta-da. Hey, that's interesting. The longest, this is the 50th anniversary of the longest running drama series in the United States. 50 years, did you know? It's a Masterpiece or Masterpiece Theater on public radio, public television. I'd forgotten that they changed the name to Masterpiece as opposed to Masterpiece Theater when it came out in 1971. And then in 1980, the spin-off Mystery, also as Mastery Mystery in 2008. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. That's fascinating. 50 years. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, ice cream dates back to the 2nd century BC. Hi, Tracy. When Alexander the Great enjoyed snow and ice flavored with honey and nectar.
First ice cream.
First ice cream. Yep.
Ice cream for ice cream.
Ice cream. Things that make you go,
He makes them go, all the time.
No person has ever honored for what we received. Honor has been the reward of what he gave.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Living moments do not come of committees. There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower.
There's truth to that. Power of the will.
Oh, I know. We can
You do?
blame. We can blame the sun on Joe and Sue.
Oh, they just came back
They
from Palm
just
Springs.
came back from Palm Springs.
So they brought it with them.
Brought it with them. So thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Isn't that nice?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nothing is more highly to be prized than the value of each day.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Absolutely true. And now, without further ado, our patron saints, George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
Yeah. I still miss all of our music.
I do too.
Almost even Christmas.
What songs have been going through your head? Anything going on in there?
No, well, nothing.
From church music?
Nothing going on in there. There are places.
Wrong question.
John, there are places I'll remember all of my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead, and some are living in my life. I've loved them all.
How very sweet.
Yes.
I don't think George is going to be sweet, but
No,
what does
he
George
never is. He
say?
never is. The real reason that we can't have the 10 Commandments in the courthouse. You cannot post, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not lie, in a building full of lawyers, judges, and politicians. It creates a hostile work environment. Ta-da.
Wow. Yay, George. I
Hey,
guess.
George.
Tell it like it is, buddy.
Sign in a restaurant. Life is
Yeah.
one contradiction after another. Underneath it, someone had written, no, it's not.
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah. A woman who was embarrassed by the bad photo on her driver's license remarked as she showed it to a clerk for ID, "Please don't pay attention to that picture. It shows what I'll look like when I'm dead." After looking at the picture, the clerk said, "Oh, no, they'll make you look better than that."
That must have been a bad picture.
Must have been a bad picture. Bad
Like
picture.
any of them are good.
Bad picture.
Like any of them are good.
Okay. I just have a few shorts. Wow, look at that sun. There's my.
Here comes the sun. Maybe it'll hurts my eyes.
You know,
I may have to put my
there's nothing we
sunglasses
can do
on.
with that right now because that's coming in from our top windows.
Yeah, they're just.
And without the
it's
tree
gonna shine.
there to block it, wow, we're amazed how much more light comes in.
Obviously, we had
Yeah.
no clue that it would be this.
A vulture boards an airplane carrying 2 dead raccoons. The stewardess looks at him and says, "I'm sorry, sir. Only one carry-on allowed per passenger."
Carry on. Oh.
2 fish swim into a concrete wall. One turns to the other and says, "Damn." 2 Eskimos sitting in a kayak were chilly, so they lit a fire in the craft. So unsurprisingly, it sank, proving once again that you can't have your kayak and heat it too. 2 hydrogen atoms meet. One says, "I've lost my electron." The other says, "Are you sure?" The first replies, "Yes, I'm positive." Did you hear about the Buddhist who refused Novocaine during a root canal? His goal was to transcend dental medication. That too? Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Okay. New Year's blessing.
We kind of did something like this years ago.
We did
that
something
I
like
wrote,
this a few years ago.
But this is better.
Yeah, quite a few years ago, actually.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard Flight 2021. We are preparing for an on-time departure for the new year. Please make sure your attitudes and actions are secured and locked in an upbeat and upright position. All self-destructive thoughts should be turned off at this time and remain turned off during the duration of this journey. Any negativity, hate, discouragement must remain completely stowed. In the unlikely event we lose altitude under pressure, simply reach up and pull down a prayer. Prayers automatically activate your faith. With faith, you will be able to assist other passengers. There will be no luggage allowed on this flight. Now, Captain God has cleared us for takeoff. Our first destination is love and continuing stops at peace and joy. Before you deplane, don't leave any of your hopes and dreams behind, as once they are lost, you will be required to create new ones to continue your journey. If there is anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please do the same by paying it forward. Phil and I.
Janice and I. Sorry, I typed this really fast last second before.
Just a minute ago. That's why we're one of the reasons we're late. Jan and I and your flight attendants wish you a pleasant flight. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Glory, hallelujah, may it be.
Woohoo! Spanky.
Spanky? What do you?
Yeah, it's a hair.
Oh,
somewhere.
Was it Spanky or? There you go.
No, there's still one there. Okay, thank you. Jeez. All right.
What you can't see is blinded by the light, and then what you can is just not where it should be. May I have a refill on that, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the sun is doing. Oh, they said the transmission is doing. Sun is doing weird things to our faces because of the.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing we can do about it right at the moment.
Not at the moment.
I don't know.
So we'll adjust maybe before next Sunday.
We had no idea.
No, we didn't. This is the first time it's been this glaring. Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful New Year so far. Let's face it, last year has been an adventure to say the least. I have a lot of things I want to share with you this morning. And I'm not sure. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that one later. Okay. So next Saturday, before I forget, I want to remind you again at the end of the service, but next Saturday, Phil and I are going to do another drive-by at the church building, and this one will be a healing. So you drive by in your car. We're going to be masked and gloved, and you just roll down your window a bit, and we'll send you a healing, and we'll give you a crystal to hang on to for that, and that crystal will hold that healing for you. There'll be some other things going on. I'll talk to you about that in a bit. But first of all...
Sorry, I'm trying to find out where the sun is, and I don't know which window is doing it. I'm doing everything here, and I can't find it. There's just...
He's standing off to the side going...
Trying to see if I can get a shadow over her face, and I can't.
You can't stand there the whole time.
No, but I can't. I don't know which one's happening.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like the light is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So, all right. So now that that's done, I want to talk to you about the spiritual superpowers we've been talking about. And there have been six spiritual superpowers. And I took a week to talk to you about each one of those. And today I want to just touch base on each one of those and the blessings that they offer. Each one in of itself is powerful. And when we tap into these spiritual energies, we're so blessed, and we can be a blessing in our world. So the first one we talked about was gratitude. And when we have gratitude in our world, that accesses the flow of abundance. We talked about manifesting a few days ago. We did a video on manifesting. And one of the first keys to manifesting or creating what you would prefer in your life, one of the first techniques there is gratitude. Because if we're coming from a place of lack, then it's counterproductive. It doesn't work. You can make all the goals you want. You can line it all up and categorize it all that you want to. But coming from a place of lack is short-circuiting divine power. Because there is no lack with our Creator. The lack happens with us when we perceive ourselves as not having enough. So when we come from this place of gratitude, being grateful for what we have, then more is added to us. More is added to us. There's a Bible verse I want to share with you that kind of encompasses all of the spiritual superpowers, but it really hits home with abundance, or with gratitude and abundance. So let me read this to you real quick. 2 Corinthians 9:8. And, well, let's read verse 6, 7, and 8. Let's do that, shall we? You know me. I just love this book, and it's just so exciting to me to read this stuff, and it's really cool stuff. So, verse 6, now I say, he who sows sparingly shall reap sparingly. If you're coming from that place of lack is what you're going to get. And he who sows bountifully shall also reap bountifully. What you put out there is what you're going to get, right? So if you get out there, oh, I don't have enough of this, or I'm too old, or I don't have enough money, whatever. Coming from that place of lack, it's not going to work. But coming from gratitude of, hey, there's stuff I can do even at my age, and I'm 70 years old, good grief. There's things I can do, things I couldn't do when I was younger. So age can be a blessing and not a curse. And okay, maybe I don't have the financial abundance that I would prefer, but I can still be kind. I can still use that superpower of kindness. Anyway, getting off subject. So, let each one do just as he's purposed in his heart. Listen to your heart space. Listen to that heart of hearts that's connected to Divine Source at all times. Listen to that. Not grudgingly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Have you ever had somebody pay it forward when you go get a coffee or something? Isn't that fun? And isn't it fun to do that? Pay it forward, pay the next guy's bill for them. Isn't that fun? That's cheerfulness. That's doing it out of the kindness of your heart, out of joy. And that's where the super energy comes in. And with that, God is able to make all grace abound to you. All grace, not limited grace, but all grace abound to you. That always having sufficiency in everything, you may have an abundance for every good deed. So looking at that, at what we have, what we experience in life with gratitude, grants us an access to abundance on all levels. Then we talked about the superpower of kindness. Kindness is a superpower. Not everybody can be kind. Because when we're stuck in fear, it's almost impossible to be kind. Because we're too busy thinking about ourselves, too worried about what's going to come next. But when we can step into kindness, we transcend fear. And the other side of fear, or what is blocked, when we get past what blocks fear, is love. So having that loving expression is powerful. Then we talked about the superpower of forgiveness. And in that forgiveness, this is forgiving ourselves, forgiving other people. Sometimes we expect that other person to be sorry, or we expect that other person to have regret, or we expect that other person to apologize. If they were capable of that, they probably would not have hurt you in the first place. So they might not be capable. But if we give that sorrow and that pain to Jesus, because he was the one that walked this physical path clearly, perfectly, without flaw, always with this heart of love and kindness. And when we can give him our anguish, it's truly cleared, and that's forgiveness. And then we can look at that other person and go, you know, they may just be broken, and it may not have anything to do with me. It may have just been their sorrow talking, their sorrow acting, their pain acting, and I can just let it go. I don't have to take that on. And with that comes peace. Wouldn't we love to have peace? Yes. Most of us are striving for that, especially in our trying times that we have right now, right? Peace is a valuable commodity to have. And we get that through giving it to Jesus. Honor. Honor brings us hope and grace. This is that upright heart. Coming from that place without the begrudging, without the duty and that you should, but coming from this place of joy, coming from the place of, this is my choice to do this. Everything Jesus did was a choice. And he made the right choice every time. And we can follow that example. We can have that upright heart. And with that upright heart, what we're given in exchange is hope and grace. Hope for a better day, hope for brighter times, and grace in the journey right here, right now. Isn't that a powerful thing? Courage is another superpower. And courage isn't just the absence of fear, it's the being able to move through something because our heart is set on it, because our heart is beyond it. Does that make sense? It's that empowerment to do the right thing, that upright heart, what the upright heart is asking us to do, is coming from that place because we choose it. And we have divine backup, got our back, and we can. We can. When our heart is locked and loaded on something, there's no way, there's nothing that we can fear enough to stop us. We're unstoppable, unbeatable. You've experienced that, have you not? Then there's expanded awareness. Courage brings power or empowerment. Expanded awareness. Now, expanded awareness is this ability to tune into other things other than the physical manifestation. So in other words, I can see that here's a situation in the world, but I don't have to look at it just as that. Maybe there's a lesson here for me. Maybe there's more information here for me. Maybe there's a blessing here for me. That's from that expanded awareness. That's seeing it from divine perspective. And the result of that, the blessing that comes from that, the energy that's gifted to us from that, is joy. So when we activate the superpowers of gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, honor, courage, and expanded awareness, what we receive in exchange, or what comes to us freely, unbounded, unlimited, is abundance, love, peace, hope and grace, power, and joy. We can all live with that, couldn't we? Wouldn't that be a lovely way to live? Indeed it would. So these superpowers are tools that we can use all the time. And what's really cool is once you tap into the superpowers, they kind of intermingle. So sometimes our kindness grants us courage. Our kindness can grant us hope and grace. Or our gratitude brings us peace. So they're kind of interchangeable here, and they bless us. It takes paying attention, not just doing life because life is happening and we're just on autopilot, but intentional living. And when we live intentionally, all of these superpowers are at our command. And you know, sometimes it's not about, I think I'm going to choose courage now. No, it just happens. When we're in that state of being, of intentional living, when we recognize that we have a point of choice and that we can choose to walk a sacred path, this path of ascension, following Jesus on his path of ascension, then these are granted to us effortlessly, abundantly. How nice is that? What a gift. What a joyful blessing that is. And it's open to all of us at any time. So, because this is so important, Beth and Nancy and, well, the board of trustees and I have gotten together and we put together a worksheet for you with this, only it's more like a game. And we're going to hand it out next, when we do the drive-by. We're going to do that. We're going to hand out a sheet that has these superpowers on it. And we're also going to hand out a dice so you can roll what superpower you might want to choose. And then you roll again with what energy is going to assist you and how that's going to assist you. So it's really a fun thing. So we'll talk more about that in a bit. How am I on time? Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you about that. I think that's it. I apologize. This light has gotten me a little discombobulated. I just had surgery on this eye, and so this eye hasn't had surgery yet. but the brightness is a bit challenging for me. So thank you for bearing with me. It's a little distracting for me. So again, I want to read to you this one Bible verse and really let this soak in, okay? And God, higher power, creator, all that is, whatever your consciousness will allow you to receive and connect with, because some of us have a hard time with that God word. Religion has been unkind, has it not, to some? Therefore, if it works for you that using a different word for all of that, that's okay. God knows who you're talking to. You can talk to me and call me Janice. You can call me Jan. You can call me Janny, my family. You can call me Miss Janice. He was calling in. Nope. You can call me Mom. My son calls me Mom. My grandkids call me Grandma. And when you talk to me, I know who you're talking to, because the intent is there. God knows who you're talking to. Higher power knows who you're talking to. All that is, divine source. Whatever word you need to use that. It really makes no difference, because your heart knows the truth of it. And your heart is what connects us. So follow that. But I'm going to use the word that's here in the good book. See, I've kind of worn this one out. This is the second one I worn out. Too funny. Anyway, and God, higher power, all that is able, can do it, to make all grace abound to you. All grace. Grace is this unmerited favor. You don't have to earn anything. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be this sterling Christian who can do anything or anything else. You don't have to be this amazing volunteer that sacrifices their life to the good of others. You, right here, right now, as you are. As you are. Now, from that, this is going to express itself in a beautiful expression. But he's able to make all grace abound to you. All of this unmerited, you don't have to earn anything. It's right here for you. That's where that expanded awareness, noticing, and it will be here. The more you notice, the more you get. That always having sufficiency in everything. You know, maybe it's not the house on the hill that you want, but most of us have a dwelling to live in. And for that we can be grateful. And with that gratitude, then more abundance flows to us. And you may have an abundance for every good deed. If you want to do a good thing, you'll have the abundance for that. The good things come from your heart of hearts that wants to be a blessing to others. That's what we came here to do. Most of you are already doing that. And most of you realize that this is coming from a place where doesn't matter how much you give, you're always going to have enough. Now, let me say this about that. We can have a distorted view of our world and overgive. I think there's a case to be said for that. But this is not talking about that. This is talking about that heart of hearts that is coming to be a blessing. And you'll have the abundance necessary for that. The abundance of, what's our list? I had the list memorized. Let me see if I can do it. Courage. Nope, I can't. Where's my list? There it is. Gratitude. Gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, honor, courage, and expanded awareness. This is a different order than which I memorized them, so I'm a little confused. So gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, honor, courage, and expanded awareness. It's all there for us. And that brings us abundance, love, peace, hope and grace, power and empowerment, and joy. That's the life we want to live. That's what we came here to live. That's that ascension path. If we're walking in fear, we're not on the ascension path. And when I get off the path, I always, drat, I'm off the path again. And I can look back and as I visualize that path in my mind's eye, what I see is Jesus standing on the path, big smile on his face, saying, "My back, I'll help you." We don't have to walk it alone. And we can walk with all these superpowers and have an abundant, joyful life. So with that said, let's take a little bit of a break and do communion. Mr. Phil, if you join me up front, please. See, I sound like I'm still at church. Join me up front, please. Join me in the living room, please. Front room. I think the dog is sleeping in the couch back here. Here he is.
Oh, by the way, if you ask me a question about anything, I won't know because I can't get the video at all. Not even the slightest. I've tried rebooting the computer, gone through everything, used a different browser, nothing.
Well, you know, it is first of the year, gonna have some new stuff happening.
Hey, Carrie. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll keep trying.
Well, you know, that's all we do. And if it's not meant to be, then we just let it go and do something else. Even though we might prefer it to just run smoothly, just like we expect. There's the superpower of allow. Isn't that the truth? All right. So communion. This is unleavened bread. This is gluten-free for us. And even though you may not have communion supplies at your disposal, we're going to do this symbolically for you so that you can energetically participate. So as we take this in, would you join us in prayer, please? Loving Spirit of light, as we take this into our body, help us to utilize our body as a vessel of blessing to ourselves and to others. We ask that you walk with us in all things. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen.
Oh boy, I'm a blessing vessel.
A blessing vessel. I've got eye flashes.
Light's better.
Yeah, I think the sun's moving. I still can hardly see anything. All right, back to communion. Join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it, and help us to drink it in with a positive, joy-filled attitude. Grant us the abundance that you've promised us. Help us to see it. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. And Beth has already requested,
Beth.
I know, requested the donations.
She's amazing.
That's wonderful. This is when we would normally pass the basket, as you would say. But we've always, people that know us know what we do, but people that don't just think it's kind of normal to do stuff like that. And it is. I mean, you got a building, you do have to keep it running. But we do it a little bit different. Jan and I usually never say a thing. We usually have a volunteer, or sometimes I'll just
pick somebody.
It's
funny when it comes up with the contribution baskets. People go,
"Oh yeah,
don't look at me. I'm not going to do it."
But you know, it is absolutely wonderful what people say, and you know, it's not all oh gee, this is a wonderful place. No, they're heartfelt, personal feelings. It's really quite nice. Really quite nice.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Because we're all on this journey together, and together we can uplift and bless one another, and that's what we're all about here.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
I will go try to see if I can make it.
May the source be with you, Phil. So I want to have a very different guided meditation I want to do with you today. So it's a new year, for heaven's sakes. Let's just do something totally new and different, right? Speaking of new and different, Christmas Eve day, I was resting. Try to see if I could stay up till New Year's Eve day. I was resting to see if I could stay up till midnight. Didn't quite make it. Anyway, in that process, I had a bit of a vision. And so I'm not only getting my vision repaired and healed, but I had a new vision. And I'm not at a place to share it with you yet, but I hope to do that soon. new vision to help us all on our Ascension Path journey. So more information to come about that. In the meantime, let's do a guided meditation. Our guided meditation here is to assist us in our journey. Now, if you've never watched us before, or it's been a while, I've spoken to you quite a bit in the past about neurological pathways and how the neurological pathways can get locked in, like fear, sorrow, and joy and happiness too. But we often get hooked up in negative thought patterns. Because if you think a thought, then there's receptors in the brain, and they look like these little cone things, and energy zips between the two of them. And the more you think, the more zippy lines get drawn, and then it looks like it just gets fused and connected, hardwired. So we become hardwired to know whatever our circumstances are, we're going to feel sorrow about it. Whatever outside circumstances are, we're going to be afraid. Whatever outside circumstances are, we're going to feel anguish. Or whatever our outside circumstances are, we're going to get angry. Because those are coping mechanisms that help us cope through stress and difficulty in our world. And they are okay to help us in a moment. Like, it's okay to be angry. Good book says, be angry but don't sin. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be afraid. Because those are natural, normal things. But when we overuse that and we don't lean on the superpowers of courage and kindness and a spiritual expanded awareness, when we don't rely on those spiritual tools, and instead we rely on fear, anger, and sorrow to get us through, we get locked down in that. And so if you find that you have a rapid fire, no matter what happens, I'm always angry, or no matter what happens, I'm always frustrated, no matter what happens, I've always got this reaction to it, and it takes a minute to unwind from that, we're going to look at that. And in our guided meditation today, we're going to get into our own brain, and we're going to rewire some circuits. All right, so let's take a deep breath in. I want to keep an eye on the time here, because I want us to get sufficient time for us to do this. This is big stuff. Just bring your attention into your heart space. That whole area here. And when you do that, notice that your heart space opens. And you feel a little more present. Now, I'd like you to take your attention with this open heart space, it's already open. Take your attention to the bottoms of your feet. There are energy portals, there are energy doorways, energy openings there. And they're kind of like the eye of a camera, and they'll open. Each one opens, each foot. If you bring your attention there, your attention doesn't have to stay in your head. It can move to other parts of your body. Let's bring it down to our feet. As that opens, this is a two-way portal. And part of this portal is to allow us to discharge energy. You know, that static energy that we collect as we move through our day. It'll just discharge into the earth. We call that grounding. And as it gets discharged into the earth, anything that's unwanted or, that frantic or stress or whatever, just let it go. The earth will absorb that. Now, at the same time, the earth has this vibration of stability, strength. Our Mother Earth. So it has this beautiful energy that it can, in turn, grant us a sense of strength, a strength of stability, or a sense of stability. So letting the energy go that you don't need or don't want, don't have to carry anymore, and then drawing that energy from the earth into your heart space. So your heart feels strengthened and stronger. And with that strengthening now, tap into Divine Source, God, higher power, all that is, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Bring that energy into your heart space. Now that connection's always there. We don't always perceive it because we're busy flitterpating doing what we do. But when we notice it, it's there, and that path is wide open, and the energy flowing into our heart is there, always. With our attention focused, then that expands. Now, there's an energy portal above your head. Matter of fact, there's quite a few over your head, and you can tap into the one that feels right for you today. Maybe it's the golden portal, maybe it's blue, maybe it's green, maybe it's pink or purple, or silver, or iridescent. Whatever you're experiencing right now is what's right for you. And will have a unique, specific energy to bless you and give you exactly what you need right now in this moment. What's imperative for you right now in this moment. So notice it. And as you notice it, that's that expanded awareness, will tap into that. And then this living light of love flows into your being, a specific form of that. That connection that we always have has it all. But we're selecting or choosing or noticing a specific one for today to bless you for today. So if you don't see something in your awareness, in your mind's eye, choose something. Choose a color, choose a texture, and let that flow into your heart space. Allow yourself to receive that. That's a gift from God. Now take that energy, this abundance that we've been talking about, that God is able to give you, take that abundant energy and let it flow through your whole being. Let it touch your mind. Let it touch your eyes. Not just your eyes, but your perception circuits. Let it touch your ears, your mouth, your throat. How you receive and perceive truth, how you speak your truth. And let it flow into your heart space, how you live your life, how you live your truth. And let it flow into your arms and your hands so that you can have worthy work. Whatever you're doing, you put worth and value into it because it's coming from this place of love. Letting more and more light and energy flow into your body, into your torso, touching every organ, every system, every tissue, every cell, bringing revitalized energy to your whole body, bringing more and more love and light into your legs, into your feet, and let that light shine through you into the earth. And you're anchoring this divine love into this physical plane. What a blessing that is to be of service in this way. And now gently, gently, gently close the bottoms of your feet and you're a vessel of light. So more and more light is coming in. More and more light is filling your physical form. More and more light is filling your cells, even your DNA. More and more light is filling the energy field that surrounds your body. So you're in light and surrounded by light and filled with light. The verse I mentioned to you a few days ago was, seeds of light are sown for that upright heart. You're in this sowing of the light. Receive it. So what a gift. And now, feeling the presence of this light and knowing the security of this light and the strength of this light. If you haven't already closed your eyes, you might want to gently close your eyes and allow yourself to imagine being able to journey with your awareness into your own mind. And you'll see electrical circuits everywhere. Just notice that. Just meander through that. Some are for creativity, and you might want to bless them and allow them to function even more. But as you're meandering through your own mind, I'd like you to find where you are stuck in a habituated pattern of fear. And you'll notice that the connector points are really, really strong. And I want you to go to that connector point of fear. And there may be more than one, but we'll tackle one for now. And as you look at that, notice it. And notice nearby is a circuit for faith, hope, joy, courage, all of those super energy, superpowers, and super energies I was talking about. Choose one. Maybe it's a superpower of kindness. And allow your attention now to disconnect that fear response and reconnect a positive response, positive connection. So then instead of feeling fearful, you feel kind. Or instead of feeling fearful, you feel courageous. Instead of feeling fearful, you can feel empowered. And notice that. Bless that. Ask this divine light that we've already tapped into to bless this new connection. And now feel how the fear wants to reconnect. Just bless it and let it go. Thank the fear for keeping you safe all these years, because that's all it's tried to do. But living in fear doesn't really keep you safe. It just keeps you locked down and frustrated. So thank it for its attempt and reconnect in with this beautiful, courageous energy, this empowered energy, whatever that might look like for you. And as you're connecting that in, draw more energy from higher source and let this be filled with light to amplify that connection. So that when your first response is fear, no, you shift instantly and effortlessly over into a new state of being, a new state of expanded awareness that grants you the ability to see things in a whole new way, in a whole new perspective. And just be with that for a moment. Feel this energy, connection, and feel how it's sparkling with light, sparkling with energy, healed, empowered, and strengthened. And now I'd like you to step away from that and allow that to continue to work. Bless that. Allow that to continue to do its connecting work. And now let's find a connector that hooks us up to frustration. There's a lot of frustration in the world right now. Not only for ourselves, but for others. And often our own frustration accesses other people's frustration. So we're not only feeling our own, but we're feeling theirs as well. So find that frustration circuit and disconnect the frustration circuit and reconnect faith. Instead of frustration, we're going to connect into faith. So yes, there's things in this world that cause us frustration. And yes, things don't always work just right. Computers don't work. The light is different than we're expecting. But rather than frustration, we can have faith that everything is just what it needs to be and will work out just fine the way it's intended. And we can let go of frustration and lock in faith. Faith is a beautiful thing. Part of it comes from us and part of it is a gift of God. So allow yourself now to look at this faith circuit and bring this living light of love and touch that faith circuit and see it activate even more. See it strengthen even more. So that your first response is not going to be fear. It's not going to be frustration. Not going to be anger. It's going to be faith. I know this is going to work out to my benefit. I know everything is going to be fine. I know it's okay. I may not like it, but it's okay. It's okay to have a preference for something different, but I'm okay. And faith will lead the way. Faith will help me to find options and opportunities that lead me in a new, different direction, a better way. That's the power of faith. And see that connection strengthen. And see how frustrations want to come back. They're habituated. No, thank you. Frustration, again, is a coping mechanism, and we can thank it for its service because it's kept us functioning. Barely, but it has a purpose, and we can let it go now because now there's a better way. Now we have faith. Faith with expanded awareness, with courage, forgiveness, all these energies of love and light blessed and granted to us. So now take a step back from that and notice that circuit, how bright and clear it is. And notice the circuit of that we had just done. And notice how bright and clear that one is. And know that we can change our mind at any time because it's a choice. Jesus showed us the path of choice. The ascension path of choice is a choice made from an upright heart, a heart of honor. And that we have too, because he's given us that example. So now, noticing in your mind these clear, brighter circuits, knowing that you are empowered in a new way, in a bright way, and noticing that you have this divine connection all the time. It's here for you, a blessing for you, always available, just waiting for your attention, waiting for your awareness. And as you notice that, you're going to be gifted with a symbolic object. Maybe it's a word or a thought. You're in your mind. Words or thoughts could be a gift here as well. But perhaps you're gifted with a symbolic object that will energetically, symbolically let you know how divine source, God, higher power, whatever that is for you, is helping you right now. Receive that symbolic object with deep gratitude, with gladness, and know that this is empowering you and helping you in your journey. Perhaps it's a flower. Perhaps it's a clear crystalline structure. Perhaps it's a piece of jewelry. Perhaps it's a notebook. Perhaps it's a pen. Whatever symbolic object you receive has symbolic energy for you. Even if you don't know its meaning right now, just receive that. Intuitively, you know. With your expanded awareness, you know. Your conscious mind might try to tell you what it's going to figure it out or think it out. But this is an intuitive thing from your heart of hearts. Your heart of hearts will know. And after our service, if you would like me to give you some impressions of that, I would be happy to do that. So now allow yourself to receive this gift with gratitude. Allow your awareness now to step back out of your mind, back to your heart space, back to your full body. You might want to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and welcome back into who you are in this here and now, empowered and energized in this here and now. You might want to take a deep breath in and just be here for a moment. So if you have any questions about what you received in that guided meditation as your symbolic object, type them in, send them to Mr. Phil, and Phil will share them with me on the phone, and I'll answer your questions here, or at least as many as I can. I hope you really enjoyed and felt the connections that we did in that meditation. This is powerful stuff. So hopefully when you experience difficulty in your life, the challenges are still here. It may be a new year, but the challenges are still here. But when you experience them now, you have a new mindset, a new heart set, a new pathway. And you can recreate this at any time by revisualizing this. So it's not a matter of being perfect, it's a matter of just being and allowing that to bless you. So if there's any questions, please let Phil know, and he'll chat with me here in a minute. Our drive-by blessing, our drive-by healing is going to be next Saturday from 2 to 4. Next Saturday, 2 to 4. So just drive by the church. We'll be masked up, and we'll give you a healing. If you'd like to leave a donation of $10 or more, you're going to get this game, that the Superpowers game for free, or as part of that. I have a couple of other little gifts that I'm going to give you as well to go with that. So I'll talk to you more about that at another time. But for now, let's see if there's any meditations that you would like me to respond to. Before I do that, Also, Beth has created this amazing little process where you find your divine name. Remember how last year she had these little cards made up, and everybody picked one card from this basket, one card from another basket, and a card from a third basket, and then you put them together as kind of an affirmation for your year. Well, Beth has done that online, so you can kind of have this random selection, powerful stuff. The people have already chosen some in a particular group that we're in. It's amazing how these are how they come up. So that's called Find Your Divine Name and Message, and it's on thedivinefellowship.com. Beth just tagged it with a link, and I think we're about ready to go. And you can't find any of
Absolutely not. I cannot.
Okay.
I've tried everything.
Okay.
I've turned the computer off and on. I've gone to a different browser. Maybe you can figure out. I get it.
So, if possible, I'll try it from my end, from my browser, and see what if I can get on and respond to you privately online rather than here publicly on the video. So hopefully you've enjoyed our journey today. And if you have any questions, be sure and leave them there. I will get back to you. If not today, soon. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm not forgetting anything.
Probably are.
Find your divine name and message. Beth sent you a link. Next Saturday, we're going to do the drive-by healing. And then you can access that game through a donation. Happy heckin' New Year.
Yeah.
Make it a great year. You can. We will. So let's wrap up. Rub your hands together really, really fast. This gets that energy flowing. So you've brought that energy into your heart space from divine source. And by rubbing our hands together, we bring it with our intent and our attention, we bring that energy into our hands. Now, for me, this is my left hand. We're going to take that energy from the heart space to the left hand, from the left hand to the right hand, from the right hand back to the heart. This connects that circuit. And as we connect that circuit, then the energy is amplified, and you'll feel energy moving between your hands. This is divine energy. And this divine energy is amplified with our intent. And so our intent is to use this energy to be a blessing in our world. So there may be somebody that you know that could use comfort or encouragement or strength. Haven't heard back from Patrick. I know he had that stroke. I've connected with him, but I haven't heard back. So I'm hoping he's doing well. Then maybe there's others that you know in your circle of influence that could use energy.
We know whole families that have COVID with people in the hospital and the rest of the families just trying to cope with everything, even though they've got it too.
It's a challenging time. So let's take this energy that is charged up with love and let's send it to them. And that way we are being a blessing, and that abundance of divine love we're sharing. Now, fresh energy into your heart space. We don't want any psychic backwash, so we're releasing that. Fresh energy in, fresh energy left hand to right hand, back to your heart space, and let that energy build again. And as this energy builds now, you get to keep this bunch. So this energy will bless us in our pathway to stepping out of fear and into faith. Stepping into that blessed ascension path. So bring this energy, bring it into your heart space. And then from this, may we be a blessing in our world. God bless. We'll see you. There's no Wednesday Wisdoms this week. I'm going to start doing Zoom classes in a couple of weeks, so more information to come on that. So we'll see you on Saturday for our drive-by. If not, we'll see you next Sunday. God bless.
Toodles.